got the Liverpool thing here. It's obviously not a nation, but how can we not love the World Cup? Every 4 years, so it's fresh. We don't have to worry about it being diluted and everything. You get to be on top for those 4 years, and then you have this big old tournament. It's different than your standard, Premier League title where it's just about points and everything. With the World Cup, it's a true tournament like we have here in the States with March Madness or the NFL playoffs. So I think it's the World Cup. You talk about the culmination of winning it for your country. Nothing beats that to me.
Okay.
That's a respectful choice.
He's just like, okay.
I gotta go way to the other opposite end of the spectrum though, and go with the NCAA wrestling college finals.
Okay.
Always incredibly fun to watch, especially this year. We had some really incredible upsets. It's a culmination of a really long, tough season for a lot of these guys. And there's going to be a women's NCAA finals coming up here soon, which is always going to be interesting to watch, a new edge of the sport kind of coming into its own. So I'm going to go with that just for the main reason that I don't like watching basketball during March. So it gives me something to watch, something exciting to look forward to, especially being an OSU guy. There's always some good wrestling going on for us.
Do people do bracket? Are there actually brackets for that, or is it just
there's brackets for each individual weight.
Okay.
So people do fill out brackets. It's a lot more time consuming.
There's so many different.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to spend probably a couple days.
It's even harder to get even close to perfect because this year you had a guy like Spencer Lee from Iowa who's supposed to return and be a 4-time national champion.
Is that the dude whose mom broke her glasses?
Yeah. So the Twitter video went viral of her just crumpling her glasses, which you totally get the emotion.
Right.
You just watch your kid. Home. I know you definitely can't drive home. Husband's driving home from that one, but you get to watch a kid who grew up at wrestling and dominating the sport just kind of fall apart in the last final 30 seconds of his semifinals match, I'm pretty sure. So, and he came back from a bunch of injuries. He has no ACLs anymore. So to see that kind of happen is just kind of one of the things that March Madness is going to be.
Oh,
okay.
Did you come up with that?
No.
Okay, I was like, you're the host. Yeah, you're the host of this now. You came up with that.
No.
Okay.
I feel like I got to go to my roots here, man. I played tennis growing up, so I got to pick a Grand Slam, and so why not pick the U.S. Open? Kind of like what you were saying, diversity with so many different countries being able to participate, and when it comes to either the men or women's side of it, there's just so many ups and downs with the Grand Slam. There's only 4 in the world, and so why not pick a U.S. Open where there's literally the best of the best playing under the lights too. That's always such a fun thing. Being able to play under the lights, dude, it's crazy. I did that in college one time. It's such a different atmosphere.
Yeah,
even it's
that's Arthur Ashe, right, in New York.
Yeah. I'm Flushing Meadows. It's in most of the matches they don't start until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. It's just it's electric. So I like it a lot. So
I like that answer too.
Yeah.
You said Grand Slam. It's Wimbledon in England. There's the French Open, Australian Open, and U.S. Open.
That's it, yeah.
And they're all on different surfaces, basically. So, I know, Nadal, he dominates on the clay, but then you get someone like Federer who, I don't even know.
He was a grass guy, but then you get, Djokovic is, and there's also, a bunch of young, there's so much to talk about with that kind of stuff, though, too. But, just so many different variables. Yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun. And so, if I'm going to pick one, though, I got to pick the U.S. Open. I feel like that makes the most
definitely.
sense. So.
Sure.
Makes sense. Well, I'm not as bougie and extravagant as you guys and have the, I would say for me, it's really actually kind of changed over the course of the last couple of years. I always used to be a big NBA playoffs guy, but just something about these series nowadays, they just get, they just drag too long and everything. They're just kind of hard to watch. I do like how the NBA has, incorporated the play-in and all that. I think that mixes it up a little bit, and I think you do get some better matchups in the NBA playoffs, but I think March Madness for me actually over the last couple of years, just because of all the upsets that you do see every year. And I think what made me appreciate it a little bit more is we've seen all the coaches retire now. We've seen Jay Wright, Coach K, Roy Williams, and it's just tough seeing these guys that we grew up with on the bat.
You still got Tom Izzo around.
I mean, we
stuff,
do,
but
But he's
it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm pulling so hard for Michigan State to actually win this year, because a Big Ten school hasn't won since Michigan State actually won in 2000. So it's like it's good to see a Big Ten school making a run this late because I mean we live in the part of the country where the Big Ten is kind of like
it's a big piece.
Yeah, you really kind of like defend it even like outside of Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Like you kind of defend the whole conference when everybody's like, oh, SEC versus
Right.
Big. It's more than just Ohio State.
It's more than just OSU, right?
I feel like
that's a good point
degree.
to put that at though too. And honestly, who doesn't love seeing an underdog?
Yeah.
Dickinson, give me that all day.
Oh
bro.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. Well, think about it. It's like I'm salty we left because we could have actually stayed for that game. We actually left after Michigan State and USC. We actually left, so it was like we could have stayed for like one of the biggest upsets because I think that's the second time in college basketball history the 16 has beaten the 1. So
I think both were in Columbus too.
Yeah, so I'm like, just think about that. So
that's some trivia knowledge.
Right? Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think for me it definitely has to be March Madness. Just because of the style, and like I said, you see these guys who are known as like the giants as far as coaches. They're kind of on to doing different things now, whether it be broadcasting or whatever, making commercials like Coach K does now. It just makes you appreciate it a little bit more, I think. So
Michigan State too, especially with like the shooting and everything that happened there, it'd be a great story for them to win this year too.
Yeah.
So, well, if you're not going to take NBA playoffs, then I'm going to do it because Game 7, nothing beats a nice Game 7. Like the Boston Celtics and LA Lakers 2009. Like you can't beat that Game 7 environment. Win or go home. This is it. Like you got to lay it all out on the line. Golden State and Cleveland too from 2016. Like it's just the culmination.
Can I tell you, I hated it because I was thinking that too, but you could also say that for like the Super Bowl too, because we've seen some pretty ridiculous Super Bowls even in the last like 10 years. Like
2016,
Atlanta, New England. Like, are you kidding me? Even like Philadelphia, New England was a great one though too. Even the Super Bowl we just watched this year, like it's tough, man. Like, and even it's more than just like that. The commercials are always a top conversation too. So
I say like specifically Game 7 though, because like you get some finals where 2018, like the Golden State Warriors, they just sweep the Cavs, and it's like everyone could see it coming. And it's like you don't want to miss it because it's like happens once a year, but also if you're a fan of that team, it's just you know it's coming. But with the Game 7, it's like
everything's on the line.
We just need one.
Yeah. And I think what made that 2018 so weird for us, like living in Ohio, is I think we all kind of had like a little glimmer of hope. We were like, oh, LeBron's playing out of his mind or whatever. But I tried to be optimistic. I was like, maybe there's some kind of people outside of Ohio are like, nah, this is a wrap. Like this shit's over. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. But I was kind of optimistic because LeBron's played out of his mind in 2018.
Oh yeah,
that was easily one of his best seasons of his career, but Golden State was just a different beast.
Was that when Tatum was a rookie in that Eastern Conference when they went all the way? Was that the year?
That was that year.
He went good that series though too. Like,
that was Game 7 Eastern Conference Finals too.
Yeah, because he hit that shot against Toronto early in the playoffs. They beat Indiana. Yeah, LeBron. So OG Anunoby. I felt bad for OG Anunoby. He was man.
Not for DeMar DeRozan, man. He got run out of town
I
and
felt
didn't
bad
win the next year.
Yeah, I felt bad for Dwayne Casey.
I was going to say the head coach got out too.
Dwayne Casey.
He won Coach of the Year,
He had 7 50 or more, 50-plus win seasons and still got fired. And I'm like, just because you can't get past LeBron, it's crazy.